Hello. In this video, I'm going to explain the interesting new changes in releases 0.22 and 0.23 of Kroxylicious. First of all, I'll go over the changes for 0.22.0, which we released a couple of weeks ago on July 3rd. First of all, we added a new KMS for record encryption, that is the Thales CipherTrust Manager. You can see the new configuration there. You can configure it with username and password or with client certificates. Next, we've introduced named cluster definitions. This is so that you don't have to repeat yourself when you're defining the upstream clusters that the proxy will connect to. So rather than defining the bootstrap servers and the TLS details of your upstreams repetitively, you can instead refer to the cluster definitions. So the old inline style is deprecated and will be removed in future, so you should migrate to cluster definitions. Next, we've added a capability to the KafkaProxyIngress resource in the operator. You can now specify annotations that will be added to the services and routes manifested by the operator. Here's a simple one. Java 21 is now required as a runtime. Java 17 support was removed after our deprecation period, so upgrade. We improved operator resilience, so the reconciler now reads from a local cache, so there's just less chance of us getting stuck under load. The hot reload engine was completed in 0.22. Very cool. This means that embedders of Kroxylicious can reload individual virtual clusters without restarting the whole proxy. And there are new lifecycle metrics around that. One thing we don't have is any integration in the standalone proxy or the operator deployed proxy to reload, say, configuration files. So maybe that'll be off in the future. We also took the first steps towards implementing the routing API. So this is a great new API that's going to enable router plugins to take a single client connection and ferry their requests to different upstreams. So currently the proxy is one-to-one. You make a client connection and there's a single backend server, but we've got this API coming in to allow some powerful new features. And that was all for release 0.22 onto 0.23.0, which we just released July 16th. First of all, we've made it easier to configure your key material when connecting to a KMS. So we now accept PEM certificates directly for TLS, so you don't have to convert them to PKCS 12 format. You can use PEM format. And we've added the last feature we wanted to add to the new CipherTrust Manager KMS, which is to support passing a domain when you're authorizing with them. So this is how they implement multi-tenancy. We improved the operator's integration with Strimzi. We now allow cross-namespace references to Kafka clusters, so they don't have to be in the same namespace as your proxy resources. They can be in any of the namespaces that your proxy operator is watching. And last but not least, we've implemented a lot of the routing API that we mentioned earlier. So we're ready for implementers to come along and build experimental router implementations that are going to take requests from a single client connection and fan them out to multiple upstream clusters, stitch them back together, and respond to the client. So that's all locked off behind a feature flag. You'll find it in the documentation, but we really hope people are going to get experimenting. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all of the people in the community who made this happen, and we'll see you at release 0.24.